button. I don't know if it's actually working. Oh no, it actually does tell you. Yeah,
Yeah,
live.
it says.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dark History's live stream from March. I guess now it's monthly. Can actually say that, it's a bit easier. Yeah. So, if first time here, welcome. There's a link in the description, as always. If you want to come on the stream, you're welcome to do that. Just click the link and follow the instructions. Basically, it's dead easy to do. Yeah, a pair of headphones would be great if you've got them, so we don't all hear ourselves 300 times in an infinite loop of destruction.
Hello.
Otherwise, yeah, nice to see you all. Hope you're all doing well. Hallie, how are you doing? Really well, apparently, because Hallie's frozen. Or have I frozen? No, okay. Hopefully. Oh,
Are you there?
I'm there. I hope I'm there.
Did it spin on your side?
No, it just sort of booted you out. But you're back now, so hopefully everything's all right. We got Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
Sarah.
Hello.
How you doing?
Oh, we all good over there?
Oh, like my face is smashed.
How are you, Sarah?
That looks terrible.
Nice introduction. So yeah, how are you, Hallie?
Okay, I'm gonna have to get out.
Okay.
I don't have headphones, so
Is it struggling?
Yep.
Sarah's stream is definitely struggling.
Yeah.
Never mind. How are you doing, Hallie? If anyone else wants to come on, and Sarah, if you get your stream better, like internet's not freaking out, come on. Yeah, how are you, Hallie? How's things?
I'm good. Towels is here. Haven't seen them for a while.
Hey, hello.
I'm good. I guess we're gonna set the ground rules right here, right now. I'm putting it out there. There will be no discussing the coronavirus or COVID-19. If it comes up, I will boot you out. And the reason I say that is just because a lot of people use things like this to kind of get away from it and as an escape. I mean, we're all in the same position and nobody wants to hear about that right now. So that being said, I'm good. I'm breathing. I don't have a temperature or a runny nose.
Good stuff. Are you washing your hands?
What is going on?
I've been washing my hands so they're like raw. But,
yeah. I know.
But then that's, to be honest, that's pretty much, as a germaphobe, nothing's really changed.
I was going to say
this is just life.
that's standard, Ben.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay, I feel better now because people in the chat like agree. So it makes me feel better.
It's not revolt, so it's all right.
No, I know, and it's like I don't want to be rude or wrong about it, but it's just, it's out there, and let's just talk about space apes and stuff.
Space apes. So that's the first episode we're talking about, isn't it?
Well, the human Z.
Yeah, the human Z. To be honest, I thought about this earlier and I was like, geez, I can't remember a damn thing about that because I've written 2 episodes since. So I can't remember a bloody thing. Oh, you've got my notes. Excellent. All I can remember from this really is the space apes part. But there is some weird stuff that I remember, so it's all right. There's some extra bits that I know weren't in the episode that I can kind of remember, so we're all right. So yeah, the Human Z episode, what was that all about? People injecting themselves with dog scrotums.
Oh, it was about a lot of really wrong things that should just never, ever happen. I can't even, like, so many wrong things. I made notes to myself. Like, yeah, I mean, just so many. Who thinks like that? I mean, what kind of person thinks, hey, I mean, I get that there's people that are on like the forefront of science and everything. And, those really, they got to get out there and make a difference and make a change. But who goes to the zoo, looks at the chimpanzee and thinks, yeah, I think that could come in handy. Well,
it seemed at the time that quite a few people were thinking like that, though. That's the worrying thing, is that this guy wasn't the only one to try. Like, apparently it was fairly common because you had like the Darwin sort of vibe in like the late 1800s, but people didn't really grasp it, so they were kind of struggling, like sort of playing with the idea of, the fact that you could crossbreed and stuff like that was all kind of a novelty or whatever. This guy comes in a little bit late, or obviously it's not a little bit late because people, like everyone was doing it, but I thought it was a bit late. I was quite surprised that they were still kind of interested in this sort of stuff in like the 1900s, right in the, like the 1920s and 1930s. I thought by then they would have kind of grasped it a little better. Yeah, but then saying that, when I was doing the research for the episode, it seems like even now they haven't really grasped it or not. Because I mean, I mentioned it on the episode. One of the first things that people come out with is, "Oh, well, it wouldn't work, right?" Like
right.
Common say, "Well, it just wouldn't work." Well, actually, that's not so sure. Like, that's not such a dyed in the wool idea. Hello, Jess. How you doing?
Yeah.
How are
did
you?
it. Just for the win.
I managed to stay awake.
Congratulations. I didn't. I fell asleep about an hour ago. I've just woken up. So, do you know what was really funny as well? I know we're not talking Corona and this isn't Corona, but my fecking Google alarm thing woke me up saying, "This is the weather. It's a lovely day for a walk." Yeah, is it? Fuck off.
With your gas mask, yeah.
Yeah, I nearly threw my phone out the window. But yeah, so yeah, it's funny because even now it seems that scientists haven't quite come to terms with or kind of got a definitive answer with whether or not this is a possible thing or not, which blew my mind a bit because I thought it's obviously just not possible, right?
Oh no, it's got to be possible.
Well,
do we really want to know though? Do we really want to know that?
I don't know. I kind of do.
Yeah, I'm with Ben.
This is when I say, okay, take the prison population and run with it. But I mean,
do what you want.
Yeah, but don't take someone who, like some woman who is obviously very depressed and sad and borderline suicidal, and say, "Hey, you." Yes.
Yeah. Yes, very
Russian
strange.
Volunteer.
Right?
That poor woman. I have no other reason to live anymore. So yeah, go ahead, put it in me. I mean, no.
Yeah. That was a bit sad, wasn't it? We got Amanda coming on.
Ethical and moral issues going on. Hey.
Hey, Amanda. How you doing?
Hey guys. Sorry, I had some technical difficulty. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. My cat sat on my control board panel thing and everything was just completely bonkers and I was like, "Ah!"
I like that when you first say technical difficulties, it sounds like you need cables or something like that, and then it turns out that the cat sat all over shit.
Yeah, because I don't have a cover for the settings and the knobs, so I was getting it's picking up all my microphones and I was getting distorted feedback. It was wonderful.
See, I took a photo of all my settings, so now I know that if I ever do anything, I can just refer to that photo and go back to it.
That's really smart.
That's smart. I should do that. I was actually just gonna start putting tape on the markers, but that works too.
I used to do it with all my foot pedals because when I used to go play gigs and stuff, you'd chuck it all in a bag and then walk there, and by the time you got there, all the knobs would be all twisted. So then I could just sit there with a photo, trying to put them back, which is some people were much smarter though and just put a bit of white tape on it. See, real technology. But because that
yours is the scenic route of doing that.
Yeah, I got a feeling the white tape's probably a bit better, actually.
until it loses its
yeah.
adhesive, and then
Yeah, and
it
and
falls to
then
the floor, and then I'm
and then we'll see who's
in
laughing,
trouble.
right?
Yeah, my cat.
The volunteer,
Usually, yeah.
Sarah. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say that's what metallic Sharpies are for.
Metallic Sharpies. That sounds exciting.
The whole
They're
face
just a
plate is
beautiful
like
creation.
silver, though.
Yeah.
True. Isn't that what you want though? You have like sparkly silver bits everywhere.
I think everyone wants a pen that can write in sparkly silver everywhere anyway, don't they?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of middle school. Like jelly
Yeah.
roll pens were super popular.
Yeah.
Did you have
I-
the ones that were like scented?
Oh, those
like
are
blueberry
markers.
and stuff.
Yeah,
What?
like
Yeah.
grape was purple and blueberry was.
Yeah, from
Blue?
Yeah.
Mr.
Mr.
Sketch.
Sketch. Yeah.
Yes. And then you would stack them all
Love
together,
those.
and it would be your colorful
Yeah.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
But they
'cause
all sort
like
of smelt the
connect.
same, which is basically chemical mess.
It's like sugar with
What's your
bleach.
point?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know that I tried. You put them on like your tongue and be like, oh no, they don't taste like that. Oh great. It's probably
Yeah,
what
It
happened
seems
to
like a
friends in
really
school.
bad idea, actually. Like, give children poisonous pens that smell nice, and I mean that's going in one place only, isn't it? Really?
It's natural selection though, isn't it, Ben? So
Well,
Those
that's
pens
true.
are actually non-toxic.
are they?
Mm.
Yeah, because wow, sorry, this is embarrassing. But in elementary school, we'd be like, we're gonna give each other tattoos and like draw it, and you could like transfer it, and we're gonna give each other like mouth
Yes.
tattoos. So we would draw like smiley faces and put it on our tongues because it was non-toxic. And hi, welcome to Dark History's live stream, where we teach you how to eat non-toxic pens.
Oh, this is a great first experience. Cheers.
So Jeff says, "Who are the other guys? I only know Ben. The other guys are Hallie. Hallie. I'll introduce everyone. So Hallie, who is pretty much like the person that keeps Dark Histories running, basically tells me what to do. Says, sort your
She's
shit out,
the
you
unsung
loser.
hero.
Yeah. Well.
she
And
says,
then we got
comb your hair. We
yeah.
have a live stream.
Yeah, exactly. Like wakes me up for the live
Put some
streams.
clothes on.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky. I've done live streams before where this part of me's dressed, but I actually got jeans on today. I actually thought I'd,
She
sort
didn't just
myself
do
out.
business on top, party below.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like a good mullet.
yeah. The other
Now I'm
guys
very aware
are
of my hair.
Jess and Amanda, or Jessu and Panda from Discord.
Amanda,
And
Panda.
if you would like to come on, Jeff, you're more than welcome. There's a link in the description because this is a free fall where we just talk guff. We're
Yeah,
supposed to
pretty
be talking
much.
space apes, and we're already talking about pens that we can draw on ourselves with that smell. So,
But see, here's the thing. I don't know if you caught this, but Sharona said in her comments that she found erasable gel pens that actually erase. And I'm waiting for like more information, but she hasn't provided it yet.
just teasing.
Witchcraft, innit?
Yeah. I have so many pens. I literally just sent my daughter home, and I mean like pens of every different color, type, style, the whole 9 yards. It was like a box about that big, and it was just like full of pens. She's like, Mom, I go, I know, I have a problem. We're just gonna ignore it and move on.
Talking
She
about
goes, "Do you
things. Oh, go on.
No, go ahead. We're
No,
gonna
no.
ignore it and move on.
It's just like, does anybody have a response at all?
I like, since we're talking about pens from when we were children, has anyone heard of like clay? Like what is it? Like air drying clay.
Oh, you
Yeah.
get them in like little blocks, like that big.
Yeah, of like multicolored.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Fimo.
kind
Fimo.
of, but you don't
Yeah,
put it in
like
the oven
that.
or anything. It just dries in
Yeah.
Right.
in air. I want to get some of that for this lockdown rubbish because it looks amazing. Because
You can get that on Amazon.
You can get.
yeah, you
You
can.
can get
but I mean,
anything
Amazon
on
Prime is
Amazon.
Probably won't ship for like 6 to 8 weeks, but yeah.
yeah, but like I obviously I first of all, I was like, what can I make? This looks like fun. And then I started looking up YouTube videos, and people are amazing, making like incredible looking like whole worlds in their bedrooms out of this stuff. And I'm like, right, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm doing for the next 2 weeks.
This is it. I'm making a whole entire universe out of like air dry clay.
Yeah. Play-Doh, Brianna Jones
Play-Doh.
says. Yeah,
That's
pretty
even
much.
better. Play-Doh's even
I
better.
like to think that it's for
It
adults.
tastes so good.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
No, you cannot tell me I'm the only one that has ever licked Play-Doh.
Okay, I licked it, but I don't eat it as like a snack during.
Yeah.
The smell
Yeah,
of it
but I
always
mean, I
puts me
didn't.
off, though.
I didn't eat it. I would just lick it because it's salty.
What are you, a horse? Do you need salt lick, Hallie?
Yeah, I need to be hydrated.
Everyone mail Hallie a salt lick, please.
I don't drink water, so I gotta get hydrated somehow.
Does licking clay do that? Play-Doh, sorry.
Tim, what? Sorry.
I didn't think that licking Play-Doh would keep you hydrated.
Oh, bro, no, it wouldn't be my first sort of go-to, to be
No.
honest. Stranded in a desert. What are you going to do?
I'll
Lick
get my
Play-Doh?
Play-Doh out.
Oh, I don't like the green one. You have the red one? No, just joking.
Nobody likes the green ones.
Yeah.
They're rubbish.
See, oh my god! See, Sharon has licked it. Sharon has licked Play-Doh.
Okay. I feel like I'm missing out on something now.
You
Brianna
are.
says, did anyone have an easy bake oven as a kid? I didn't, but that
Yes.
sounds like I should have.
Actually, that's a
Okay.
lie. I had the creepy crawly one.
Okay, so honest to God, I was never allowed to have an easy bake oven when I was a kid, and I wanted one so bad that when I got married to my ex-husband, my now ex-husband, he had a daughter from his first marriage, and so like the first birthday that came around, I go, I know what we're gonna get her. He's like, what? I'm like, an easy bake oven. He's like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, we can get her one, right? And like with all the stuff. And he's looking at me like, sure. I was so excited.
Vicariously
like,
living your childhood out.
Oh, totally. I was like, come on, let's go make brownies. And she's like, no. I'm like, no, we're making brownies.
No, we're doing it.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to have those or a light bright.
What's a light bright?
Those are so fun. So a light
don't
bright
know.
is pretty much like
Yeah.
it's like a light box, right? And it's kind of like a grid, and you put black paper on it, and you put little lighted punches in them. So you'd make this whole lighted scene of like a clown or like a sailboat. So you pick all the little green light bulbs and stick it in, and because it's a white
Yeah.
backlight, it would shine through the colored bulbs, and they'd have. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I think we had something like that,
Yeah,
like in England.
wanted
I was just
my-
thinking about easy bake ovens, and I'm not sure if we did. I'm not sure if England kind of. I remember Mr. Slush.
Yeah, it's Mr. Slush, yeah, but I don't
Did you
know
have
the easy
that?
bake. Yeah, I never had one, but I always saw the adverts at Christmas on telly.
Creepy looking
What-
snowman that looks a little bit like
Yeah.
Mr. Blobby.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah, easy bake ovens, I don't know, and light brights, I don't know.
I remember
Yeah.
we did have like the kind of boxes, the black boxes, and you put like pegs in them almost, and they were like little LEDs, but
Yeah,
not LEDs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a light bright.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
light bright.
I didn't
I
have
just
one of
That's a
those.
remember,
light
like,
bright.
I remember my childminder's daughter having one and being stupidly jealous to the point where I would like hide the little plastic like peggy bits so that she couldn't play with it properly.
Sharona said there was a Snoopy snow cone maker. Did I miss something?
That sounds like a Snoopy version of Mr. Slush, right?
That does sound like a Snoopy version of Mr. Probably less creepy version of Mr. Slush.
Yeah,
Because I pretty much, that's pretty much like my source of hydration.
Not Play-Doh.
No, not
yeah.
anymore.
When you're
'cause
all out of
it's too
Play-Doh,
hard to
that's what
find.
you turn to.
Like honest to God, like so when you see my me taking a drink out of my cup, the thing that's in there's a strawberry slush.
For real?
Yeah,
So
I don't want to spill it, but I
Does
don't
it
know if you
actually-
can see the red.
Oh my! I want one.
Don't let her fool you. It's the liquefied organs of her enemies.
That sounds
Well,
even
there's
better.
that.
Where can I get one of them?
That's for everyone who wrote a bad review on Dark History.
I'm just gonna leave now.
Oh my god. Now
So,
I'm
those
I'm
space apes,
laughing. Okay, but
This
hold
is
on,
going well.
because Madison Mount said her mom was like, "Why get an easy bake oven when you can just use the real oven?" She was 9. Like, oh my god.
Because you can't make miniature cute little brownies that are like a 1/4 of an inch thick.
So it was an easy bake oven, just like a genuine oven, then just made out of plastic or something.
I don't know like what type of witchcraft they used in the mixes that you would buy, but it actually made it. Its source of electricity was a light bulb.
Light bulb. Yeah. I bet
So
you
what, did you have to wait like 3 days for them to bake?
Well, because the pans were super shallow, right? And I'm thinking the mixing ingredients was just like powdered milk and egg, so it wasn't anything perishable. I think this was like the beginning of like vegan recipes. I'm serious, and it just had a light bulb that powered it, and it only had to bake like a 1/4 inch, and then it was like bing, with a little bell, and you would pull it out, and this icing would probably be like emulsified sugar or butter flavor, and you just pour it on top, and you're like, just like Mom used to make 3 feet over in the kitchen.
Oh, I wish I had one now.
Just go to the oven. It's the same exact experience.
There are one of those downstairs, but not as
to make
novelty.
to make it really nostalgic, just turn the light on in the oven and it feels like the same exact thing.
An adult easy bake oven. Somebody mentioned Silly Putty, and I love Silly Putty. I mean, back when you could read the comics and get the Silly Putty and like put it on the newspaper and lift it up, and it would be like the comics on the newspaper because dye was really bad and would just come right off, and it was great.
I just remember making fart noises with Silly Putty. It's like, yeah, basic humor level.
Did, right?
That and Slinkies. I loved
Slinkies.
Slinkies. Yeah.
They
What,
didn't
is that
love
the
me.
thing that goes down the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to like, yeah, you've got to race people. Like, my Slinky's better than yours. No, it's not yet.
I used to always get them tangled up though. Like it would just become this like tangled mess after about 2 days.
Well,
Be a sad Slinky.
Yeah.
What
are
were
you
doing
like
with
trying
it?
to mate it with another Slinky?
Yeah, what were you like? This is the motion of a Slinky. Like,
I don't know, it would just knot up. I would just have these slinkies and then they'd just get all knotted up and
Ben would take the Slinky and be like, "Mine can go down the stairs faster," and just chuck it. Like, and then it would get knotted up at the end. He's like, "Okay, I won." That was the end of it.
I don't know about you sometimes, Ben.
I you and me both. I struggle. Yeah, so what we got going on here? What episode was I originally going to do? Brianna says.
You
Harry
can't.
says,
Don't
I can't
say,
tell
don't.
you. I could tell you.
No, you can't.
I could.
You could, but you won't because
Right.
you're good. You're a good boy, and you don't do things like that.
Okay, so this is how Hallie
Okay.
runs Dark Histories, you see, from the sidelines. She basically is
Don't
like,
do it.
whenever
Just
I have an
not-
idea for anything, I'm like, Hallie, do you think this is a good idea? And she's just like,
Just
no.
That's not true. You have a lot of good ideas.
So Hallie's the puppet master.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, we were talking about space apes, right?
We were talking about
Did-
space apes.
Humansies.
Did you Did you get the notes, Panda? Did you print them out
I've got to find my charger.
from
No,
the Human Z?
I did
Okay.
not.
Because
My life's been a little crazy, so you guys are gonna have to walk me through this one.
yeah. No, that's okay. Because Ben did this little thing that was kind of funny. On the Human Z page, he put
Okay, we got Wheelo toys now. We're back on
Yeah.
toys again.
it's a bullshit rumors for fun intro question mark. So, so if you go through the notes, because Ben's okay. One, I have to tell you, Ben, your penmanship has really improved. I'm just telling you. Right
Do you know why? Because I
I
finally
love it.
worked out how to write on an iPad.
I thought you were just going to end it with, I finally found out
No.
how to write
I was
Yeah,
expecting
funny
that
happened,
too.
right. No,
Yeah.
because you just make the nib like a little bit thicker, and then it doesn't come out so like wiry and horrid, and it comes out like smoother and nicer. And I think
Like
my
a felt tip
handwriting's
pen.
yeah, my handwriting
Yeah.
looks slightly better. I mean, I
No,
try and
it's-
write in block capitals to make it a little bit better,
Yeah.
but
No, it's really improved. I'm proud of you.
oh, thanks.
Yeah,
See,
you're welcome.
dark.
So
See,
he
this is Hallie, how she runs Dark History. I'm basically a child.
But see, Benjamin has learned how to color code
Gold
things.
star because my
So,
handwriting's getting
That's
better.
right. It's getting better. So he's highlighted the rumors for us in the notes. So it says,
Wow.
yeah, rumor time. Russian doctor created a hybrid between a woman and gorilla in a Russian gulag where he was prisoner. Escaped to tell his story. Our and then I think it says 8 men race apparently put to work in salt mines.
Dangerous salt mines. Don't send a man when you can send an ape.
Yeah, so that was the rumor. That was the story, right? That they were like
Yeah.
creating this ape man race in the back areas of Russia to put them to work down the salt mines so that everything would be all right. I don't know.
Like in
It's
Lord of the
bollocks,
Rings when they were like creating all of the orcs. Is that
Yeah,
like what it
basically.
was?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
total nonsense.
And Stalin was building or attempting to build an ape army. Then the notes say, bullshit, just fiction, assisted by Cold War hostilities.
Yeah, it's total bullshit. That was basically like on some History Channel thing, and they just kind of ran with it forever. Like it's just
Are you serious?
no, it's true. It's where it originated from. It was it's some guy basically like filled up on a slow news day, just wrote a story about it in a newspaper. The History Channel picked it up and went with it, and now it's like in canon, if you know what I mean. Like that's what happened, but it's total bollocks. It was a complete invention.
That's ridiculous.
Was it the Sun that wrote it by any chance?
No.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Sorry.
oh wait, no, it might have been because there wasn't
I was
something in
gonna
this episode that came out of the Sun actually.
Because didn't you make a comment? You made
Yeah, that it
some
was an-
comment that it was like it pained you to say that. I mean, I could tell it really.
It
pained you
really
to say
did
it
hurt
was
to
sourced
use the
from the
sun.
sun.
Yeah, to use the Sun as a source, it pissed me off like you wouldn't believe. But,
It
but
was so
the thing is,
funny.
I went in knowing that it was a rubbish source, if you know what I mean. But I had to go there because it was an exclusive, so I had to go there, despite the fact I was going there just to say, "Hey, this is bullshit." But oh god, I mean,
The bitterness did permeate like
I hope
straight
so.
through the speakers. Like,
I do hope so because I was reading it and I was just like fuming.
Yeah, you could hear it. It was so funny. It was like, oh, Ben's not happy about this one.
To be honest, I've done it once or twice. You've used the Daily Mail as well, even, and it's just like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
I was gonna say, which is worse, Sun or Daily Mail, Sarah?
Oh yeah, I mean they're
Oh,
I mean they're
I
on a
don't know.
par. To be honest, they're both like bottom of the barrel stuff. They both have articles that look like they're written by robots. To be honest,
They probably are.
I mean, I've questioned the Daily Mail. I think they might be sometimes because they just repeat things over and over again. Like, the article will be like, say, 10 paragraphs long. But in fact, if you read it, it's just 2 paragraphs, but they just repeat them over and over again. But they twist the words in different orders and things. But they're saying exactly the same things that they said before. And that's made me think a few times, like, this is just automatically generated, isn't it?
Maybe
Or maybe
it's like a college student where the teacher's like 1,000 words and you like go through thesaurus and you just like
yeah.
as like
that's
your
the other
filler
thing.
words where you're like, oh, the big dog. No, the ginormously gigantic enlarged hybrid caninus fife. Like it's this huge like thing, and it's just you meant to say the big dog. Like and it's only words long.
yeah, the largest dog that you've ever seen. Yeah.
I do that sometimes when I'm writing dark histories though. I get like in my brain somewhere in the back of my tiny brain I get this like it's like must be like a fascination on a word. And when I'm recording it, like later that day, I'll realize that I've written that one word, which is an unusual word that I probably perhaps wouldn't use very much. And I would have used it like 10 times in one script. And it's like, why the fuck have I got just like a hang up on this word this week? It's really weird. I try and like chop them out whilst I'm reading it, but sometimes, yeah. I don't
It
know.
happens though. Like my dissertation, I remember being really like, I remember reading it back and just being like, I've used that word in every paragraph, every page. Like, thank God lecturers don't actually read this shit.
Oh my god. No, it's true. Or
Maybe
you
the
look at
Daily
a
Mail-
word.
Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, or you look at a word that's just like typical run-of-the-mill word you use all day, every day, and for some reason it just doesn't look like it's spelled right.
Oh yeah, and the more you look at it, the weirder it looks.
Yeah.
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 Sarah says, does the stat still exist? Is it the stat or the star?
No, the
Oh,
star.
the star. Yeah,
Oh,
it
the
does.
Where are
star
your
definitely
glasses?
still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have the Sun. And the Sun is the newspaper that you see next to the cash register when you're in line at the market getting ready to check out. And
Or
it
in the
says
laboratories on
something.
Excellent.
Yeah, and it says something like, doctor implants ape semen into woman, and it's dead serious. And they have these amazingly photoshopped pictures and the whole 9 yards. Sometimes they're not very amazing. They're
Wasn't
really
the
bad,
National
but,
Enquirer like that as well, though?
yeah.
'Cause
But the
I've
National
watched a
Enquirer has a little
documentary.
more credibility than the Sun.
Well, I watched a documentary about the guy that worked in the National Enquirer during the 90s when it was in its like heyday of just making up nonsense. And it is a brilliant documentary about nonsense journalism. And like he talks all about how they just made stuff up in the office.
That's so wrong. That's so
it's
wrong.
brilliant. It's brilliant. It's a great documentary. It's hilarious.
Working
Sounded
at
like
a,
they-
exist. I'd love that.
Yeah, they
working
just
at a
had
grocery
party.
store, the National Enquirer, I noticed, is obsessed with the royal family.
Oh,
Really?
totally.
Yeah, like every time I walk by, it's like Queen plots to kill grandson to stay forever alive on the throne. I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
Yeah.
But that people just are. That's like conspiracy theorists like love it, don't they? Like whenever anything happens. I mean, Jack the Ripper's the famous one, isn't it? But like, oh, Jack the Ripper was a royal in disguise. But there's all sorts of these weird conspiracy rumors, isn't there? Like throughout history of like, oh, if like the man, like the deformed man in the castle was like a royal secretly that they'd hidden away. And there's all these kind of weird little conspiracies about royals, aren't there? Like basically the dark side of the royals that we're not allowed to know. Why? I don't
I
get
still
it.
think they're lizards. They're definitely
mean-
lizards.
I know why America's obsessed with it. I don't know if it's the same over there because we don't have a royal family to. This is
You're
all
not missing out.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't think so, but I mean, there's just some people like The Crown that's on Netflix or like Windsor documentaries. Like I have my coworkers being like, "Oh, did you know their name really wasn't Windsor?" I'm like, "Yeah, where have you been? It's in our history books." They're like, "Really?" I'm like, oh my goodness! So it's like, I think it's just because we don't have a royal family. Like I'm sure it'd be the same of like I don't know other national dignitaries. I guess I don't know. Like I'm just assuming from what I hear. So.
Brianna says, if you're collecting bullshit stories, check Valiant Thor. I don't know what that is, but I will check it out. Does anyone else know what that is?
No. What's it about, Brianna? I don't know. I've never heard
Bullshit,
about
apparently.
it.
So where have we got to on Space Apes anyway?
Oh,
can't remember.
we haven't went anywhere.
Yeah.
Morelli said, so is Bigfoot a human-ape hybrid?
Yeah, that's
Discuss.
what I was gonna ask.
So there were so many stories that I could have made a whole other episode just out of that like idea. I kind of touched on it a bit on the episode, didn't I, with the Russian female one that was supposedly a Bigfoot hybrid kind of thing. But no surprises that was Redfern's idea.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. But
Good God, Nick Redfern needs a real job.
seriously. I mean, I don't think he does. I think he coins it doing exactly what he's doing, but he's such a pleb.
Not according to him. Not according to him. He's not in it to make money.
Oh yeah, of course. Because
Yeah.
if he'd wanted to make money, he would have picked a different job. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
pull the other one.
40 years of writing about Bigfoot bullshit, Nick. Yeah, good one.
I know, right?
Self-publicizing prick.
Don't hold back.
See, this is the real Ben. See, this is
I love
it.
these hints of bitterness, like just seeping through stuff. It's giving
Yeah.
me life. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is me behaving myself as well.
Oh.
But,
Yeah. Yeah, it gets pretty good sometimes.
The
Yeah,
thing
we-
is, though, is
no.
come on. I mean, because I love all this stuff, right? But it's the whole kind of industry just fucking ruins it because they just have to come in there with their shit to make money and fuck it all up for everybody by writing books full of nonsense and then touring it on podcasts and masturbating over each other about how great they are. There's about 5 of them, isn't there? There's David Icke, Nick Redfern, that fucking bitch who I can't remember her name, but she's always there.
And
Is
he's
it,
off.
I don't know.
Anyway,
You just feel that as if you're not
stop,
part of it, Ben.
Stop me. What we talking? Space
no,
Mate.
keep going. Keep going. No,
No,
we're
you only
enjoying
gave
this. Keep going.
you gave 3 names. What are the other 2? You stopped
I
at the
can't
effing B.
remember. But
You stopped
know,
at that. You
you all know
you
what I
stopped
mean.
at that fucking bitch. You don't know what her name is.
Well, the worst thing is the really cool guy whose name slips my mind now. I used to have him on his radio show all the time, Coast to Coast. You know the guy.
Oh, Art Bell.
Art Bell used to have it on his radio all the time, and it was kind of okay then. But it's like 30 years later, and you're starting to kind of go, yeah, guys, if you're not outstayed your welcome a little bit now. You're still talking about the same old shit.
Yeah.
And
It's like Scientology, because what they do is like they take their book and then they just like rearrange paragraphs and stuff and use the thesaurus and insert new things and then like publish it as a whole new thing. It's like Scientology. They add a comma in the middle of a sentence somewhere and then all of a sudden all the documents are brand new and you have to buy a whole new set.
yeah, exactly. Oh, and it's a 50 book set, by the way.
Yeah.
You know,
So, cough
yeah.
up the 12 grand and
I mean, it's just like Amanda saying earlier, isn't it? It's like, how can they title this book slightly different to the last one? Because it's just another book that's exactly the same. Fuck me.
yeah. So
Makes
What
me
if they're
angry.
actually telling the truth though, and we're all just really like, nah, shut up.
Well, David Icke will have you believe that that's exactly what's going on.
But what if he's right?
Ben turns into a lizard person.
If he is, then
all of a sudden his eyes
I-
like glint.
just self-mutilate. That's what's going to happen. I just.
He's just like, that's it, I give up. Lying
Yeah.
face down on the floor for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So you were talking about like masturbating over their books.
Hmm.
Uh,
Not me. They do.
I know.
Oh,
Okay.
right, okay.
It's not them. But okay, so if it was fresh sperm and it wasn't his,
Nice segue.
and it wasn't his, and it wasn't his son's, whose was it, and how did he get it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was his or his son's, one or the other. But either way, it's not great, is it?
I'm gonna hope that it was his, and I'm not even gonna go through the door that it was his son's, and he's asking his son like
Yeah.
to
Have you
manufacture
got any?
sperm for him.
Can you please put your baby batter in this jar? Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't want any air in there.
6 o'clock in the morning, opening the door. Are you awake? Sam, are you
Yeah.
awake? You couldn't just slip a sample in there for us, could you?
Yeah.
One off quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the sun rises, because I've got to get this done.
Or maybe he was like squeezing it out of the socks before they went in the wash. I don't know. I mean,
Oh.
maybe that's why it didn't work, because it wasn't really alive. By the time he got to it, it was dead. So
I like the fact that in his diary he wrote that the donor they confirmed with the donor that although he didn't have children, he was quite like what was it? He was a bachelor, but he'd impregnated people before, so it was all right basically. Like,
Is it David Icke?
yeah.
So
Christ,
he
can you
doesn't.
imagine
He
that?
doesn't have children. That yeah.
Don't want to.
So he just doesn't have children he knows of.
Well,
Right.
yeah.
Well, no, he must
Yeah.
know of them if he's impregnated people before.
Well, yeah, he was quite. Apparently, he had a reputation around the village for like impregnating all the women in the village or
What
whatever.
did he have? Phantom babies?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Who is this guy?
Sharona says, knocking on the
Sharona.
bathroom door. I know what you're doing in there. At least contribute to this family and put it in this jar. Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
Get a job,
hopefully-
son. You're 18. Come on.
Hopefully, he washed the jars out before he took them back home.
So yeah, that's basically what happened there in Africa anyway when they were there. Because that all failed, didn't it? Miserably. I got to
Okay.
admit, how I know this is perhaps jumping ahead a little bit, but this is like a burning question. How many of you guys would like to have seen this succeed? I would definitely. I would
Sorry.
love to have
Wait.
seen like.
I'm not
but-
pointing at you, Hallie. Sorry.
No,
I mean-
I'm
I
I was putting my
"Yes,
hand
it's
up.
me."
Like,
If we
yes.
just kind of ignore the fact that, you know, obviously it would bring up a ton of moral questions and you would sit there and going like, this is really not right. Like how much, who wants to kind of just see it? Like,
Well, you treat them like a human.
a
You
hairy
treat them
baby.
like anything, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah.
It all depends
but I
on
mean,
how
that's
much hair
fingers
they have
crossed
when
that
they
it's
come out.
physically
I mean,
okay, right?
But you get
You know.
people who are born with what's that? There's that condition where
Yeah.
they're like covered,
yeah, like, well,
and
But-
you do just get generally
what?
quite hairy
From
people.
like freak shows and stuff in the 30s.
yeah,
Yeah, and like there are
The
there are
dog
kids,
faced boy or whatever.
yeah, like Wolf Boy,
Mm.
and it still happens. But if they have like, I mean, I don't really think that animals and humans should be treated any differently.
hypertrichosis.
Yeah. No, I'm
hypertrichosis.
with you.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hypertrichosis.
Please tell me you
Yeah.
Google that, because if you
Oh,
didn't,
totally.
okay,
Yeah,
good.
no. Completely. Yeah, no,
It's like,
absolutely.
I feel so inferior. I couldn't
No.
come up with the name.
That's what Google's for.
I mean-
oh my
Yeah.
God, Sharona. She says my nephew had the hairiest ears when he was born.
My thing is like, how would you control the negative and positive qualities of a humanity? Like, chimpanzees can be very territorial and aggressive to the point that they like commit infanticide and they like rip other chimpanzees' faces off.
Face off, yeah.
So could you imagine putting that in a human who had the function of like wielding a weapon? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, oh, cool, you've got this tail with these amazing, dazzling blue eyes, but like,
But you want to rip my face off?
yeah,
That's what I
or
thought.
Yeah, well, and chimpanzees are cannibalistic too. They'll kill like a member of another troop and eat it. I mean,
yeah, so like that's what I
doing
think
that.
of when people think how cool it is. I picture the worst case scenario. Like, okay, what if they have our thought process, but a chimpanzee's anger and
So
the ability?
that's what went through my mind when I read the thing about the Stalin's army, right? Is that this conspiracy theory assumes that they're all going to be like perfectly well-behaved human Z's that are going to like uniform up and march in unison or whatever, instead of just throw shit at each other and go mad and just be like this absolutely chaotic super strength army that just is bounding around Russia tearing everyone's faces off, because that could equally have happened, right?
Maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe he just wanted a load of AP kind of people to chuck shit at other people.
Maybe
That's
Stalin,
Cold War 1.
chaotic evil or whatever. Just yeah.
this is true. Brianna says, well, it would have been interesting to see it actually work, but people even today are closing up cats inside boxes and leaving them in alleys. Just think what they would do with crossbred humans.
Oh
It's
yeah,
really
exactly.
true. I mean,
like if you
we're
start
horrible.
thinking any deeper about the question, it would be
Yeah,
an
no.
absolute horror show. Yeah. But from like a purely like, you know, if we don't go too far into it, just to see if it works, you know, like there's always
Just
a
see
part
if
of
it
me-
works, see how long it lives, see if it lives for
Well,
like a
that's
set amount
kind
of
of what
time, and
they're
then
doing
just kill it.
now.
And then
That's
just kill it.
kind of what they're doing now. So, like when I was looking into the like modern stuff, like that is sort of what's happening. Like they're basically they do these tests to see if they work, but then they build in like a auto destruct function in the genes or whatever. So after like 14 days, it just terminates. And also they're not actually doing it. It's like, I don't really get it because I'm not a scientist, but they're just kind of like splicing genes in laboratories and seeing if they don't react badly. So it's not to say that they're not like growing human Z's, but they're just seeing if like the two things could be compatible or whatever. And then I
Are they
don't really
making
understand.
like fetuses? Like,
No, I don't think so. I think it's even more fundamental than that. It's like super basic.
okay.
Look, all I know is I've seen Splice and Fly, and I don't want to deal with any of this, okay?
Yeah. See, Fly is the one that came to my mind the whole time I was doing this episode was the Fly, and it just kept reminding me that I really need to watch it again.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, saying that actually, that's an idea for the film night, isn't it? The Fly.
You're welcome.
Well,
Because
I
I haven't
asked
seen
it.
that for a long time, and it's a fucking brilliant film.
It is.
Yeah, because Ben and I were talking about it the other day about since we're all in the position we're in, we should have a film night, a movie night.
Yeah, because we haven't done a film night for ages, so it's about that time. So if you've got any ideas for films,
Yeah.
The Fly.
The Fly,
Fly.
yeah.
Jeff
Seems like where we
Goldblum.
are at the moment. I mean, I'd be up for that because I think it's brilliant. I haven't seen it for ages. The other one I was thinking was Rosemary's Baby. I mean, it's not very woke to say that
Oh,
these
I've
days
never
'cause
seen
Polanski,
that.
but
Ooh.
I bloody love Rosemary's Baby.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I'm
Excuse me,
like,
you're not one to judge when you hadn't seen. What was the movie that we all saw that Ben hadn't
The Princess Bride.
The
Yeah,
Princess
so
Bride.
seen? You hush over there. Don't judge Hallie. I got
It's
you.
really good. And I'm kind of in love with the Mia Farrow in it. Like,
Yeah, we know.
forever.
Ben has a thing for Mia Farrow, so
Only in this film, and only because she says her hair was cut by Vidal Sassoon, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Is that all it takes?
Pretty much, to be honest. Yeah.
so we can buy it or rent it on YouTube.
Yeah,
Rosemary's
but
Baby.
see, I'm not really sure. I think if we do that stream thing, I think if I buy it and then
We have
stream
to
it,
rent it through YouTube.
I think everyone who watches it would have to rent it. So
Yeah.
depends if people really want to pay like $2.99 to watch it, right? But I mean,
No one's
hopefully,
spending money on anything else right now.
well, yeah, it's cheap, isn't it?
She says.
Yeah. Short of
£2
tying
on
him to a
wine.
chair, yeah. Yeah, somebody asked how you had not seen The Princess Bride.
Oh,
Sure,
yeah,
we-
no, I have seen it
it's just-
now. We watched
yeah.
it. We had like a group movie night and we watched it.
It was great.
Yeah, it was actually quite good. I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be shit. And everyone was going, no, it's brilliant. You're a loser. Why haven't you watched this film?
Okay.
And I was
So-
like, the whole time I was kind of going along with it, but majority of me was thinking, I watch Kurosawa. I don't watch The Princess Bride. Like, but actually it was quite good. I quite liked it.
Yeah. See what how it all started was there. I don't remember which live stream it was, but it started that we were just dropping one-liners from The Princess Bride for like the entire thing. And at one point, Ben just kind of like curled up into a little fetal ball and started crying. And okay, well, not really, but he was like, I feel like the kid on the playground that's getting bullied because everybody else knows what the joke is, but I don't.
Was it the poisoning or the nearly dead?
I think that's what it was, because that's how it started, was with the whole, switching back and forth with the poison and drinking it and mostly dead. And yeah. So
It was pretty good though. I quite liked it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Monty Python, really, like a
Mhm.
modern day Monty Python.
Okay, I was going to say I haven't seen it, but now you said it's like Monty Python. I want to see it.
It's like a modern Monty Python, and it's but it's more subtle than that though. The thing that I thought was quite funny about it is the fact that if no one told you like this is meant to be mental, you would start watching it and you'd be thinking like, is this meant to be like this? Like, is this actually serious or is it actually mental?
I just totally had the epiphany.
Right,
when I
Hallie?
watched it.
she's so weird.
When Wesley gets asked why he wears a mask, he's like, they're terribly comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future. What? 2020 prediction. Carrying on.
No, the cat. She's because Jesse was laughing about the cat. She's 14, right? And she basically lives in this room. She won't leave the room. I can come in here 1,000 times in a day, and she'll just like flip me off, ignore me until I sit down until I sit down and I'm trying to do a live stream, and then all of a sudden she wants to be like all up in my face. I'm like, no, just and she sheds like really bad. You are gonna.
So
fall.
you need an electric blanket because look at this bad boy.
She doesn't care.
He's so
Collapsed.
She won't lay on one. Do you know how much money I've spent on like little, like a little electric cat beds just for your elderly cat and whatnot? And no, she won't. She just looks at it. She goes over to her nasty old little blanket shoved in.
She knows you're talking shit that way.
Oh, she totally does. Yeah, no, she really does. She really does.
She's like, can you not? Can you just shut up?
Sarah Hansen says we would watch Kurosawa. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I used to be really. I mean, I still am really into it. But like, have you ever seen? It's not Kurosawa, but oh shit, what's it called? Harakiri. That's it. It's not Kurosawa, but it's a black and white samurai film. But it's fucking brilliant. It's like the best film ever made.
Oh, samurai films. I like.
Well, it's kind of a samurai film, but it's not really. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's just genius. It's anyway. Let's not go down that road. So, Space Apes. Where are we still talking about Space Apes, or have we finished that one yet?
No, I could always talk about Space Apes. What are you on about? That conversation never ends.
It really doesn't, though, does it?
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny because when you did talk about the ape in the Russian space program, it's like you could hear a little hint of Ben had to do a take on like this about 20 times.
Oh, what when I actually mentioned that they were turning into space apes? Yeah, because I was trying to be subtle about it, but you can't say space apes subtly, right? So I was trying to like just slip it in, like, but it just wasn't working because every time I do it, I'd be like, yeah, I was like a little kid. I was like recording it, like, and then they turn them into space apes. So yeah, it didn't really work. Morelli says off topic. Yeah. It's not really. There's probably more on topic than what we've been all night, actually, Morelli. Yeah, I love M.R. James. It was a bit of a shocker to do that. I wasn't really sure what to do there, but I thought I got a few emails after the Christmas episode, and people said that they really liked M.R. James. So I thought, if you're going to, bring anyone off the bench, M.R. James is probably a good player, right? So I just sort of subbed that in at the last minute because I literally had like a day and a half to write an episode, and I thought, even on my best efforts, I'm not going to do that. So I did the M.R. James one, but no, I'm glad people seem to like it. It was good. I'm glad that it got. I was a little bit worried about doing that, but it seemed to be quite well received.
I think it's kind of like I said, people really don't care what you're saying. I mean, they'll listen to you read the phone book. People just want to.
I hope not.
We don't care what you're saying.
Find Dark History slightly more interesting, but
people just want to hear Ben. I mean,
I don't know about that.
It's like ASMR.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's Ben's voice. He puts people to sleep on the regular.
It's stop talking about this.
I have the opposite effect. You don't put me to sleep. I actually stop working and like I'll listen to something, and when it's a really good story, like I'll actually be working and I'll stop and I'm just like, I'm putting myself in the place of what you talk about, like the case of the French Ripper and like his whole like in and out thing. I was actually pausing and trying to figure out how he kept escaping custody, and people are like, "Are you okay? Like, are you having a stroke?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just completely lost in the story dialogue. Continue with your day."
No, it's weird though, because I have to listen to each episode about 3 times because the first time it's listening for like little things that I need to go, Ben, you need to redo this. The second time I kind of get it, but it's almost like what you were saying, like ASMR. It's just kind of in the background, and it's like when you play classical music and you're busy doing something, it's just there, just like that calming effect. And
Yeah,
then
I
the
listen to podcasts for the
yeah.
same reason, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know, I
just
listen
like
to a
there.
bunch.
And then the third time is usually like right before the live stream. It's like cramming for a test.
I have a couple of podcasts that I listen to, but to be honest, I couldn't tell you what they've been about for the last 6 months because I put it on before I go to bed and I just listen to it and drift off to sleep. And I listen to some episodes like 3 or 4 times and I still don't know what they're talking about the next day. So,
I can't do that.
There's one that I.
well, they're not about subjects that I care that much about. So it's just.
Sorry, Space Apes is not a deep, burning passion of mine, but I'm just like, I'm trying to. It's literally
Okay.
like I'm mapping out everything that you say, and I can't just like turn off and relax. I'm thinking, I'm like, what? How did this happen? How did he get the permits to do this? How long did it take to get the monkeys here? What did they feed them? What kind of diet? Was it humane? Like, this is all that's going through my head while you're going through this, and I write down notes to like email you and Hallie, be like, were they on a vegetarian diet when transported from Africa? Like,
See, that's a really interesting point, though, because you're saying about like how did they get the monkeys there and all the rest of it. Like they didn't basically. Like loads of them would die in transport.
right, so
Who
I'm like,
knew
how
how
did they die?
difficult-
Poor handling, dehydration, were they allergic
Yeah.
to iron? Like, this is what I'm thinking when you're saying all this, and then I look it all up, and then I forget it all before the live stream, and I have nothing to contribute. I just sit here and watch Hallie mess with her cat, and I don't mean that in a weird way.
Hey, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So
But-
what about?
Oh, go on.
No, I was gonna ask, what about that little 13-year-old boy? That he said that he like put
You're gonna need
something
to
in, and
remind
then
me.
he did some sort of like transplant with him and puts, I don't know, like slices of something in his. Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
said he got smarter and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
there was no what happened.
Yeah. So
His thyroid, was it his thyroid or
yeah, he had some
Pituitary
sort
gland?
of.
was it his pituitary or his thyroid or something?
Oh, it's just pituitary.
Is it the
And
base of your? That's the yeah. Sorry, talking to myself.
I don't know actually, but you know when he was he was like, although he was like a teenager, he was like as physically kind of forward as like an 8-year-old or something. So they started like putting this stuff in to see if it would work, and apparently it did have like therapeutic effects and it did work. But I mean, I'm not sure it worked to the extent that he said it did. I mean, it basically was a fix-all for everything, right? It was like pure snake oil, surely. Because there was it makes you smarter, it makes you see in the dark better, or whatever it was. It was like, you know, there were a bunch of things, and you think, yeah, okay, you know, I'm not a doctor, I can see where you're coming from. Surely that's all related. And then there were a bunch of other things, and you were thinking, like, now you're pushing it. Like, okay, I'm not sure I believe that anymore.
It's like when you buy a new pair of tennis shoes when you're a kid, and all of a sudden you can run faster and jump higher, and like all of those things.
Yeah,
just
but I mean,
immediately.
if a salesman says to me, if you buy these tennis shoes, you're going to be able to run faster, I'll believe that, right? But if they say they'll make you run faster and eat your dinner a bit better, or, you know, like I'll start questioning the second one and thinking, I'm not really sure about that. But that was the equivalent, you know, this guy would be like, oh yeah, you know, if you if we put this like dog scrotum in the back of this kid's head, he'll be like more virulent or whatever. And it's like, yeah, okay. I don't know, but
and then they're like,
maybe.
doctor, all Tommy does is want to play fetch, and we don't understand. He chases his tail, and he doesn't have one.
Keeps fucking his leg everywhere.
And he's scooching his butt on the carpet, and he can't look up.
Madison.
Madison. Omseti. Always got time to talk about
Well,
Omseti.
Yeah, well, no, what happened was because she said she asked her grandma if she could listen to Dark Histories. That's why she's there. She says, my grandma loves Dark Histories as much as I do. It's to the point where she goes, Gracie, don't be mad, but I listened to 6 episodes while I was working today. So I asked how long they've been listening. She said they've been listening about 3 weeks. And I guess her grandmom's all the way up to Omseti, and that's the first one that she listened to.
Omseti's
So,
great.
that's
That was one of my
amazing.
favorite episodes of all time, actually. I think that was my
That creeps
peak.
me out.
What,
She was-
Omseti?
Yeah,
Huh.
like just I can't get my head around it at all.
Because there were too many things that just you couldn't come up with
Yeah.
a rational
I know.
There's
The fact
like
that she
no other
died
way for it
and
to
then
happen.
came back to life. That was
Yeah.
weird.
The whole thing's weird.
yeah.
Oh,
I think she died and came back to life is probably one of the more normal parts of it. Like,
Right?
To be fair,
yeah,
So true. It's
she
so
could translate
true.
entire texts like just
Yeah.
like that. It's-
Just
Well, she was
walking
like
down-
11 years old. She was translating hieroglyphs
Yeah.
or whatever, wasn't it? Or 13 or something. Like she was a teenager,
Some-
wasn't she?
yeah.
She was young.
Maybe it was a
Yeah.
lucky guess.
I mean, come on. Just
Yeah, she was
something
cool.
absolutely. Yeah, no, she was incredible. But yeah, that's crazy. Madison made it to the Witchfinder General episode. That's one of my
Christ.
favorites.
That's
love
the
that
complete
episode.
opposite of Omsetti for being cool, right? The Witchfinder General was just a total douchebag.
He is a grade A prick, to be
He was,
honest.
yeah.
Like,
Good old Matthew
Absolute.
Hopkins. Yeah.
oh,
No, he
did he die
was-
when he was like 26? You said.
died young.
All the great ones do.
And that's why Panda's here.
I love the list of the names of the familiars that you went through. Like Vinegar Tom was one.
Oh, yeah.
What were the others? I've decided that I'm going to name my future cats. All of them.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
There was a
I'm just
rabbit,
gonna-
if I remember rightly, that was called something amazing, wasn't there? There was
Uh-huh.
Vinegar Tom and I can't remember, but yeah, they were amazing. There's a picture as well. I can't remember.
Oh, hold on. Oh.
Hallie to the rescue.
Oh, Hallie's getting the big. That's. So this guy called Doodle Kev on Instagram, if anyone
don't
is
know.
interested, he does
I'm
this
trying
like
to get it to
dot
her.
artwork.
Oh, now
And
we can see your screen. Thank you, Hallie.
Oh, that's amazing.
He drew that from Vinegar Tom. That's like
Yeah.
his version of Vinegar Tom or whatever.
Oh,
Isn't
That's
that
class.
crazy?
Yeah, he's really good. He does all his artwork's just like loads of little dots.
like
But he does like
pointillism.
I
Yeah.
don't know, but it's cool.
It's really cool.
But yeah, no, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, Doodle Kev on Instagram if anyone wants to
I'm gonna
follow
write
him.
that down.
He always draws really dark, weird shit as well.
He does some crazy stuff.
Yeah, he drew a Dark Histories butterfly. I get it off the wall, but I'm a bit scared. Um,
It's like, hold on.
wait, can I? Is this gonna work?
No, I can't.
He drew a Dark Histories
Oh,
butterfly.
Oh,
Find it?
class.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
How long does it take him, man? Like,
Don't know. I reckon probably ages. This is really weird. You're all seeing my
No.
bedroom now.
I can't get a damn picture back up. Okay, hold on.
well, I was actually in bed before I came on the camera, and I was like, oh, yeah, maybe I should. This might not be a good way to like introduce myself, like tucked up into like, oh, hi guys, how you doing?
I'm sure we've had people in bed before on the stream.
I've been on the stream in bed.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah.
tired, and Hallie's like, "Be on the stream," and I was just like, "You can't really see me, but hi, I'm here." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
like half asleep."
You guys just crack on.
Yeah, right.
To answer your question, yeah, Matthew Hopkins died when he was 27.
Lurency Venom was a good episode, yeah. And Dyatlov and Hiankai. I liked all of them.
Oh, I like it. Dyatlov. I can't say it. That
Dyatlov. I can't say it. That
That-
episode, like any episode in Russia, to be honest, just fucks me off
Dyatlov.
because you just know that I'm gonna be spending hours trying to get pronunciations wrong.
And that's why we love them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
your autopsy report, that the details you went through for Dyatlov Pass were crazy. I was like, how did they like internally hemorrhage? Like, what were they doing? Like,
It's a mental story though. Just like, wait, why? How? But then again, it's Russia, isn't it? And Russia just like didn't do it,
Yeah.
even though it's like we have evidence right here. Didn't do
The
it.
thing I like about Dyatlov is that even now there's like modern theories in that, and if you take them in isolation, they always sound like, oh yeah, that's a good theory, but it almost always turns out like actually it's really not that good of a theory, and there's nothing that quite stitches it up. I mean, I suppose
Space
that's
Apes.
what makes it so interesting, right? But Space Apes, well,
It's
that would
Space Apes. Yeah.
stitches everything up, right? I mean, everything is Space Apes.
They did.
Sack and
They-
Sugar.
I'm
Sack
trying
and
to think.
Sugar. Sack and
What?
Sugar was the name of the rabbit.
Oh,
Oh.
they're just
Yeah,
listing
yeah.
the
Yeah, I
ingredients.
was like, all right.
Sorry.
She's having a stroke. Someone call the paramedics. She's going on about sugar.
You were right.
Yeah. Sack and Sugar. That was
Sack
the
and
name
Sugar.
of it.
Allie's just looking up her next easy bake oven recipe.
Cola.
Cola. What is it?
It sounds a game based off Diablo. It'd be cool if it was like DayZ.
Really?
That would be for sure. I would
Is
be
it
all
like
over
a-
that.
Is it
Or
like a tabletop game or like what?
Is it
Either
something
way
we can all
round,
play together?
probably be
I
up
don't
for
know. I'm
that.
trying to find out. I don't know. It's on Steam. It's a video game.
Is it like survival horror kind of stuff?
Adventure horror.
Is it like a really bad Oregon Trail? It's just called That Laugh Fast instead of Oregon Trail. Instead of dying of dysentery,
Wow.
you just mysteriously get dropped from like 30 feet and run
Something
out of your
about
tent with your
board
socks
games,
on.
though.
It's on PS4. So and yeah. So that's
Ah.
it. Okay. All right. It looks like the kind of game that I like.
Whenever I play DayZ, I always kind of imagine it's the Out of Past, to be honest.
What's that? What game is it?
DayZ.
Yeah.
It's like set. It's like a kind of post-apocalypse set in Eastern Europe, running around and zombie apocalypse. And you have to like, it's survival horror, so you have to go around like picking up like food and stuff. But I actually haven't played it for ages, but when it was in the beta, it was absolutely brutal, like early access. It was like absolutely brutal, and you would like walk around for like 2 hours getting like tins of baked beans and then fall down some steps and break your leg, and that would be like the end of you, but in this real slow way, because
Oh.
if you've broken your leg, like you're basically screwed in that situation, but because you'd have to try and make like a splint out of stuff and things like that to get it was
That sounds
absolutely brutal. It was really
worrying.
good though. Yeah, because you'd basically just like break your leg and then slowly starve to death and maybe get sepsis and die in the middle of the backwoods of Eastern Europe. Brilliant.
It sounds like Limbo. I loved Limbo.
Oh, Limbo was
Limbo's
great.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Limbo's a
Oh, I
great
love
game.
that game. Yeah.
Have you ever played
that-
Little Nightmares?
Yes.
Oh my
I haven't
god.
played that one.
No, that honestly, that ugh.
It's mental.
It's
It
really,
really
really
is.
creepy. It like plays on
Very-
your fear of being chased as a kid, and everything's like out of proportion, and the that
crazy.
enemy with the really long arms.
Yeah. It's called Very Little Nightmares, and it's got this little girl who's in like a raincoat, but you can't see like any facial features or anything like that, and that's your character. So you go through. It's really cool.
It's
I like
so
it.
worth playing. You could probably
Yeah.
play it in a day. Yeah, I reckon.
I have no idea what the hell any of you guys are talking about.
I know. Poor
Yeah, I think
Panda.
probably half the stream is we're kind of like meandering, aren't we?
If it's a
But,
computer game, the last computer game I played was Counter-Strike and World of Warcraft, okay? So that's like where I am.
You got respect for World of Warcraft. Well done.
I do, yeah. You know what? There's this theory, because like everyone's doing online classes, that if Zoom collapsed, we should all just go on World of Warcraft because it can handle the traffic of everybody on there. And so you just see schools like making like orcs and blood elves, and we're all just going and raiding other schools. I'm all for it. We should do a Dark History one. I'm just saying.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about that.
Anyway,
Like-
Space Apes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have a feeling that some animals were crossing into the stream for a second.
Oh no, I was going to say I used to play Warlock like way back in the day in like Vanilla WoW, but then that shows how old I am. So
That's
because
okay.
I was at college at the time, I think. Yeah. But yeah, no. Anyway, Space Apes. Mr. James, eh? He's a funny one, wasn't he?
no,
God.
no word of a lie though. I was listening to the MR James episode when I was in the car, and the one about the painting. I think it's the first story that you read.
Yeah, the Mezzotin. I really like that.
That was a good one.
That's creepy as fuck, right?
I was like, had my paintings in the back of my car as well, driving like back to my parents' house. I was just like, do I chuck them out now, or do I like, should I just like keep them there? Like,
I really like the Mezzotin. It's my favorite MR James story. It's so cool. I love the way the way he describes the guy crawling across the grass and that. It's
it's horrible.
He doesn't really give you much to go by, but it's enough, right?
But that's the point.
Mm.
I mean, that's the point of his writing is he gives you just enough to feed your imagination and then just lets you run with it the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I thought the dialogue.
So well done.
The other one, the next one, is a little bit more impenetrable, isn't it? It's a little bit of a struggle. I really like it with the kind of sadistic Punch and Judy show, but it's quite a tough one. I mean, because some of his stories are, I mean, quite a lot of his stories, to be honest, they are quite sort of like you have to listen, like read them or listen to them a couple of times to really get what the hell he's talking about. Sometimes it's because you've got like the weird language at first,
like old English, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like you've got to get your head over that weird language for first, and then you've kind of got to get your own head around what he was trying to get at as well. And that second story, the tale of a appearance and a disappearance, it's kind of like there's a hit with a double whammy of the fact that the language is difficult, and also what the fuck is he even talking about? Like it's quite tough. But the Mezzotint's great. I really like that one. That's like the first time I heard that, I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is dreadful. But,
I'm surprised they haven't made a film about it or anything, really. Well, have they?
I don't think so. He's not really been that heavily adapted, like any of his stories. I think like, a couple of them have had, like there's I Whistle and I'll Come, My Lad, I think it's called. It's like one of his most famous. That's been like adapted a couple of times for TV films and stuff like that. But I think he's only had like one like full movie adaptation and a couple of TV adaptations, and that's about it. Which is weird when you think, it's kind of prime material for that kind of, especially like TV movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, not too heavily adapted. But yeah, no.
I was creeped out by the Punch and Judy one, I got to admit. I didn't realise how dark Punch and Judy was until like listening to that and just being like, oh, no, he actually does like beat his wife up and then, like,
murder a load of people.
Throttle a baby.
Yeah.
I used to watch that as a kid. Oh, great. Good. Explains a lot.
I didn't really get the thing with the dog. Were they?
No, Toby Dog was it?
The Toby Dog. Were they trying to say that like people used a real dog?
I don't know.
And that was like a new thing because he was like, oh, all the people in the future are going to have it, right? So like it was kind of like a new thing that this Punch and Judy people that this guy saw were using a Toby Dog. So all I assumed was that this Toby Dog was like a new breed or something that they were using in the Punch and Judy or something. I don't know.
When I first heard like Toby Dog, I thought I misheard it. I must have actually, or I just assumed that like it was like the Toby Jugs.
Yeah.
Have you seen them in America? The Toby Jugs. They're like a British.
Come on.
Oh yeah,
they're like the ugliest things ever, but they're like collector's items, and they go for really like big. Honestly, if you Google them, they're horrible. Don't know why anybody would want them in your house. Yeah, they're like these fat, ugly men with like red noses and weird.
What are they called?
Toby Jugs.
Oh, what?
Hold on.
And that's what I thought they were going on. I thought they were talking about like a Toby Jug.
Okay.
Like everybody's gonna have a Toby Jug. Oh, it was like, ugh.
A Philpot.
Why?
I think that's what they
call them a Philpot.
Philpot, yeah.
So they're called Phil in America.
It's used as a weapon against a mythical Scottish demon. That's weird. That's just what that's what Google told me. Okay, well I don't know how it got that.
Oh wait, Sarah says old breweries used to make them.
Yeah. Yeah. There was an episode, it looked like, of the mezzotint in the UK in 1986 on Classic Ghost Stories, which
Was
was
that a
TV
TV
series.
adaptation? Yeah, there
Yeah.
was the 70s and 80s. They adapted a couple of them, I think. I didn't know they did the mezzotint though. I bet it's not that good.
Morelli said she has a pretty Toby jug.
I'm not going to believe that until I see it. I'm sorry, Morelli.
Okay, Morelli, you're going to have to post a picture on the Discord.
We're going to need proof. I don't think pretty and Toby jug are two words that go in the same sentence.
So Sharona says completely off topic, like we're always on topic anyway. But she goes, but I'm sitting outside and the pizza shop across the street has a metal sign. It's swinging in the wind and creaking, and now my town feels like I'm in Resident Evil.
Oh,
That
no
would be
thanks.
kinda weird, huh?
Okay,
That would be
since
kinda
we're
weird.
miles off topic anyway, would you rather live in
Right.
Raccoon City or Silent Hill?
Silent Hill.
Raccoon City.
I love raccoons.
I've just played the game a million times. I feel like I have a really good chance of surviving. I still
I'd
have
ra-
to go to get into the armory.
I'd definitely rather live in. No, actually, I don't. No.
Silent Hill wouldn't feel real. Do you know what I mean? If you were there.
Whereas Raccoon City would be like just ground zero for a zombie outbreak, right?
I'd
It should
just
just
lie
be a
down on the
nightmare.
floor and I give up. That's it. Take me. I'm not fighting you. Whereas in Silent Hill, it would be like, I'm just gonna run. Just gonna run. Like, there's no way I'm gonna get out of this at all. I don't know what the hell is going on.
See,
would you do
Madison
if-
said Raccoon City too.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, raccoons.
put the-
It's one
yeah,
of
just
my
put
worst
some-
nightmares to be eaten alive.
Oh,
no,
my
see,
God.
I think it's because
This just went like, whoop.
No, sorry. That's why I
No, it's
wouldn't.
fine. No, you're fine. You're totally fine. No.
I don't think that's that unusual, to be honest.
No, not at all. That's why I'm like, no, you're totally fine.
Ugh. No, I
I
watched
mean,
Attack
it's some
on
people's
Titan. It may have,
fetish, but
well, I think there's a fetish for everything, isn't there?
yeah, there's that
Make
German
money out
guy,
of
wasn't there?
it.
The German
Yeah.
guy
What's his
actually.
name?
yeah,
Armin,
Yeah, Armin.
I can't say his last name, Mewis or something like that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a podcast
Armin
called
Mewis.
Monstro. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, they
Mm.
did a two-parter. Not for the. I'm going to say this right now because
Go for it.
I know Jack like probably on a deeper level, but it is not for the weak of like the weak stomachs or anyone who is easily offended. It is not for anyone who's under the age of 18.
It
I'm gonna
is
say it right
graphic.
here.
What's this
Yeah,
monstro?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Is it
really
proper brutal?
Yeah. They don't
Yes.
skimp on details. It's like
Ah, right. Proper
I mean,
torture
it's-
porn stuff.
it's amazing
No, it's
storytelling.
it's not. That's the thing. It's not torture porn. It's not like murder porn. It really isn't. If you listen to it and you pay attention, how they wrote it, it's like she said, it's proper storytelling. But how they wrote it was from the perspective of the person
Being
who
eaten
was doing.
alive.
No, the person who was doing the murders and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that. Yeah. So the criminal or
It's
offender or
interesting
whatever
getting
you
that
wanna call it.
kind of view, I guess. Not that you'd want to empathize with someone like that, but at the same
No.
time, it is
Yeah.
interesting hearing it.
And they're not looking for empathy either. It's like they're not trying to make the person someone that you feel sorry for, that hopefully you can connect with. They don't want you to. That's not the goal. The goal is more along the lines of, and it's like Jack's thing is, everybody always wants to know how this person thinks or what makes this person tick. And that's what they were trying to do, is let you kind of like open the door and see this is how they think. This is how they process things and why they do what they do. That
they kinda
was
go
the whole
yeah.
premise behind
But they
it.
go into the detail about like the upbringing and stuff as well, and how that would have made them
Yeah.
feel. And I think that's always really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Us, without getting too like, scientific specimen kind of thing on here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I find that. I think Monstro is a great podcast. I gutted that I don't know they'll do another season.
No.
Actually, they're not planning to.
They're done.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah. No, they're done with it.
Oh,
He's got
listen
some
to
other
it.
stuff. He's got some other stuff that's coming out though that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That
He's
hasn't been
a great writer though as well, Jack Luna. I absolutely love listening to his podcast. Actually, he's changed it recently, hasn't he?
Well, he did, but it's coming back.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Shows how. Oh, Crime Machine, yeah, but it's Dark Topic as well. Yeah, I really like Dark Topic.
Oh wait, is he the guy that wrote Dark Topic?
Yeah.
Oh, so I've listened to a bit of that.
Yeah, no, Dark Topic's coming back.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
I really
it's
like
good.
Dark
Yeah.
Topic.
Yeah.
No, but he's really good at writing as well.
That's been
like,
around for ages, isn't it? Dark Topic.
Yeah.
It's been a while,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it has. It's
I remember
good,
seeing
though.
that for like long time ago. Like always see it around kind of thing.
When Jack writes, he writes in a way that you get a lot of him in the story. Not that he's like trying to insert himself in any way, but it's just how he writes. He creates a lot of feeling. It's really interesting.
He's really descriptive, like not in the sort of graphic way, but just in a way that he talks about like more of the psychology of stuff and like how it's really visceral with how you might feel about something.
Yeah.
He's really, really good at translating that over. And I think that's why I like Monstro.
Yeah.
Not for the torture porn.
No, and it's not. Their whole thing is letting everybody always says, I wonder what makes them tick, or I wonder what they were thinking. And that was the premise behind Monstro.
I don't know if I can listen to that. I'm a massive wimp, to be honest.
Well, you can't. That's why I said you can't. No, you can't. No, because then you won't sleep. And you
I
sleep
don't mind
anyway.
it, but I don't like when I read stuff like that. I need it to be like really dry. Otherwise, like it all gets a bit much. Like I don't mind reading like autopsy reports, for example, and things like that.
Oh, that's factual, isn't it? It's very like straightforward.
Yeah, it's like you can separate yourself from it, like because obviously when I do dark histories, I have to look at loads of grim shit like this, but you separate yourself from it a little bit because it's so cold and like kind of like what's the word?
Use your thesaurus.
Yeah, it's a really simple word, but it's completely fallen out of my head. Anyway, it's so cold, right? It's
Detached.
yeah, it's like detached and it's just bang like that. They had this, and this, and this, so you can kind of like detach, just like take yourself away from it and just go like, yeah, okay, I get it. That's what happened or whatever. But it's when you start putting it into like words in a story with like feeling, and then it starts getting a little. I can't do that. I'm rubbish.
Clinical.
Yeah,
Tellus
clinical.
Calcic.
Yeah,
Clinical.
yeah.
Yay! Tellus Calcic for the win.
Yeah.
That was the word that escaped your mind?
Yeah.
Not something like pontificate or, word.
No, it was just
Something you
clinical.
win at Scrabble with. But
Yeah, no, it was just
Yahtzee!
clinical. I'm because I'm a moron.
No. It happens all the time with people. It does, like all the time.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself.
Yeah.
But
Space Apes.
Space apes.
Yeah.
Space Apes. Yeah. Do you know something really cool?
Hmm.
Doug
You
is
have
doing a
one?
London review of books next week. Oh,
What?
Say it again, Ben.
Dark Histories is going to be in the London review of books next week.
Okay. For those of you who couldn't understand because he was so excited, he said Dark Histories is going to be on the London review of books next week.
Oh my god, I'm so excited
Which
for you.
basically made me shit my
I know.
pants.
He was like, you're going to be in the London review of books next week. He was like, what's that?
Congratulations, man. That's so exciting.
But
Oh.
it's not through merit though. It's just that one of the guys who works there listens to it, so he sent me an email saying, "Would you like it?" And I was just like, "I would really like that actually."
Don't knock it. That's wicked.
But yeah, I was really chuffed. Anyway, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Space
I mean, so far we've talked about 10 minutes of Space Apes and about 40 minutes of computer games and just about everything else, but Space Apes.
But Morelli
Not that
posted
matters.
Morelli posted a picture of her Toby Jug on Discord, and it isn't ugly.
No, it looks like it's supposed to be. Who's that? Like Poseidon?
Yeah, it looks like Poseidon.
Right,
Honest to
I'm
God.
gonna need proof of this.
I'm
It's on
questioning your
Discord.
taste, Sally and Panda.
No, she just posted it in the event planning channel on Discord.
Right. Okay.
I'm going in.
It looks like Poseidon.
Yeah.
You know what's
Or-
really creepy is that
See?
in England they
Or
always have
Trident.
these.
It's Trident from Ariel. That's her father, guys. If you didn't know.
Is that actually a Toby jug?
Yeah, okay.
It's
See?
not ugly.
He's I'm not. I hate to admit this, but he's really not that ugly.
See?
But you know
She
what's
says
weird
before.
about Toby jugs is that in England, like they would like line the walls of like these little kind of backwater pubs, right? And you'd get hammered, and then the room would
And-
just get
and-
weirder and weirder all night.
I was
By the
going to
time
say,
you're
and then
going
they
home-
start looking pretty good. Is that what it is?
Yeah, right.
They just start getting really creepy, and then you end up about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, or whatever, and it's like right kicking out time, and the whole pub's just this like dingy, dark orifice with these weird faces staring at you, and it's just
And the eyes, they follow you on the way out to the pub.
and then you got to drive home,
And then you're forever haunted by the Toby jug.
And then it's like you hear something tapping, not sure what it is.
Right. Yeah, but it's ceramic
Turn
sounding
around,
in
it's
your
like,
window.
yeah. Toby jug on the counter. You turn around again, it's not there. It's like-
So is the Toby jug like the pub's elf on a shelf?
Oh, Elf on the Shelf.
What's the elf on a shelf?
Oh my goodness.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't get on board with them either.
Okay. I know you don't have children, Ben, but you do have nephews.
Yeah.
So
Elf on the Shelf is this really creepy looking red doll with like a Santa hat. And he was
What is
supposed
this
to be, like,
modern?
yeah.
I don't
It
know,
looks like
like
something out
my
of Notebook.
grandparents had it.
It's like this really bad trend on Christmas during Christmas time. It just
The
It
elf on the
started
shelf
off-
is supposed to be like put somewhere in your house and it watches over you so Santa knows if you're being good or bad. And then people have turned it into other things. Like a really funny one is when Infinity Wars came out, they did a candy cane crush out of the elf on the shelf with like a Thanos snap. So it was like he disappeared.
Morelli said that her elf shelf. She said elf on the shelf is just a space ape. That's all. Basically,
Knew
it's parents trying to like create a conscience in their children.
Right. So it's like a creeper that's
Yeah.
watching over you all the time.
Yeah.
But does no one else find the prospect of Santa a little bit creepy into your room at night?
Oh yeah, some strange old guy coming down your chimney and breaking in and then leaving
Yeah.
you a bunch of
Oh
toys.
wow. This
Yeah.
elf on a shelf looks weird with his little blue eyes. Like
Yeah, he is a bit odd, isn't
That's-
he?
yeah. He's
Mm.
It would be
Yeah.
like
Good
if you
impression,
wore-
actually.
if Ben just had a Santa hat and a red jumper, he'd look like Elf on the Shelf for sure. Oh my gosh, can you do that, Ben, for your Christmas card and then just sit on a really high shelf?
So.
Yeah.
I'll cosplay as it at Christmas.
Yes, do it. And just sit in random places with a smile. Just- and don't move until people leave and then go into a different part of the house.
I don't know if it'd be
Oh my
creepier that a
God.
fully grown man would be dressed up as an elf on the shelf, or that he'd keep moving around without looking,
Oh,
without people seeing.
Both.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you're
God.
right, both.
This is your mission, should you choose to accept.
Yeah, I
That was-
accept.
That was good. Yeah.
I'm up for that.
Oh God. Oh, that was painful. Yeah, that was good.
Okay, you wait. Christmas.
Oh, don't want
If
to.
I'm
you do
so
that,
excited.
I will pledge a large denomination to your Patreon if you do it, and you put it on Instagram.
Yeah, all right.
However many likes you get on that picture, I will give you the money. How about that? There we go.
I told you he could be bought.
Yeah, I'm cheap, to be honest. Like,
Oh my god.
yeah, no, I'm up for that.
All right, Hallie, put it on the
Do I
calendar.
have to wait till Christmas?
I mean, I think
No, you don't.
Because you know I'm really fucking bored these days.
Hey, you know, whatever moves you.
Whatever floats your boat.
I'm just trying to think if I've got enough stuff to like do it now.
Dude, just get a red pair of sweatpants and like a red hoodie, and you're call it a day.
I was
I
gonna
mean, if you're
say
going to
if
do
you,
it, you best do it properly.
I
I
was
buy
gonna
some
say, I
felt
can-
for this.
I can send you an elf hat. Yeah, see, yeah, I can send you an elf hat if you need one. I have one. I can send to
I
you.
think I've got a hat, and I've got. See, I'm trying to work out what I've got and what I haven't got. I've got quite a bit because I dressed up a few times at Christmas.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This raises a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, do we want? I'm sitting here thinking, are we gonna go there?
Yeah, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, we
I
are.
can light it for sure.
And what exactly, what did you dress up as for? What was the purpose?
You know, like fun.
Was it on your own? Or
Yeah.
was it like
So it wasn't like.
What's the problem?
So it wasn't like.
you wore like ugly Christmas sweaters, or you dressed up as like a full blown reindeer?
No,
Past
like-
that, like
I
and got up on the
dressed
roof.
up as a full blown reindeer, but that wasn't just for that was for a gig. We played a gig on Christmas Eve, and
Oh
I
my
dressed
God.
up like a full blown reindeer, and then ripped that guitar to pieces on stage, going like
There's
Sonic Youth style, dressed up
There's
like a
like no
reindeer.
pictures, huh? There's no proof of this.
And then your
There is
fans.
Yeah,
proof
it's
of
true.
it, but it's not a good picture. It's
It doesn't matter. A lot
you,
of
you
pic-
said,
you know,
yeah.
there's pictures of Bigfoot all over the place that they're not good pictures either. So
There's a picture of me later that night smoking a fag. I used to smoke back then, like smoking a fag as a reindeer, going like. But yeah.
Oh please, please, God.
This
Oh
is
my
like
God.
this is
Well, the
social
gig
media
was
gold.
4 hours long. We played for 4 hours. I was dressed up as a reindeer for 4 hours.
Wait, did you
Oh.
paint like a nose on you and everything?
No, I had like a
Weak.
fluffy
Oh,
sponge
like a-
nose.
Like a red nose?
Yeah.
Were you Rudolph? That's adorable.
Yeah, I was, yeah. And we all dressed up, and the other guitarist had a crown of thorns and dressed up like Jesus, and the violinist was dressed up like Mary.
oh my god.
Pregnant
And-
Mary?
And
Oh my
That's the
god.
question.
and then we improvised drone noise for 4 hours.
Well, it can't be regular Mary. She was only important during the whole, Christmas pregnancy manger thing. It'd be weird just to have a regular Mary.
Were there wise men too? Did you guys
Yeah.
have wise men?
I got no, because we could have, but not everyone dressed up.
That's
I
just
told
Oh.
everyone to dress up, but
Party
only a
poopers.
few of us went for it. Yeah.
you could have done like a full on.
Manger scene.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, personally, I think if one of us is going to do it, we should all do it, right? I just wanted
Yeah,
an excuse to dress
definitely.
up like a reindeer.
So, do you have a costume or?
Yeah, I had like a onesie, like a full-on onesie that was like a reindeer.
Oh, you must have been so sweaty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how much do you want to go into it?
Uncomfortable. I dressed up as Godzilla for New Year's, so I had like a Godzilla onesie and was running around, and I don't think I've ever been as sweaty in my life in a 5 pound dinosaur onesie.
Did you wear
Really?
stilts?
Did I wear what? Stilts?
Stilts, yeah.
Nah, it was like I was like a kawaii Godzilla.
Kawaii.
I just had like a dinosaur onesie, big green wig.
Did you put like little buildings sellotape to your feet like that?
No, but I
it
did
looked
have
like you
little
were
people.
stomping on buildings.
I did have
Nice.
little people.
Jeremy says so much for Space Apes.
Morelli reminds me of the old DC Punk Club days. I like to think that it was probably something like that, but it probably wasn't.
Even that's funny.
That was
sorry.
Sarah says do the time machine today. That was a cool gig. That was a lot of fun because we improvised and it was 4 hours long. We all just played everyone's instruments. We just get bored and just swap instruments. I played every single instrument in that band, including the drums, and I can't play the drums. I mean, it was getting late by that point, and people were.
Ben was just hitting the hi hat and the snare on everyone on every fourth beat. That's all he's doing.
Wasn't even using the sticks by the end of it, just headbutting each of them. Like,
After about 4
Bongos.
hours, it was getting a bit like, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. If only we had a time machine.
Yeah, Hallie's right there. I think this is more of a cluster than normal. It's because basically we've all been cooped up. It's like, people, let's talk. Oh my god,
civilization.
words.
So I said we're all a bit mad at this point. Oh my god. I know. I heard of some people are doing like social like video happy hours. So it's like everybody has their drinks and they're on video.
Ah, yeah, I've seen that. They've been doing like Zoom drinks.
And it just gets like,
This is
way,
not water. It's just straight gin.
yeah. I mean, I told you it was a strawberry slush, but
I don't know why you two are late to the party. I mean,
I actually am just drinking water, unfortunately.
I've been drunk all night.
I haven't stopped.
Sharona says when the introverts start missing human interaction, it's bad.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's funny. Like the thing is, though, is I was talking to the other day. Like basically, like when you're like a serious introvert, right? It's kind of comforting to know that the rest of the world is going on around you. But when everyone else suddenly is doing what you're doing as well, it's like, I'm not sure I like this. You should.
Yeah.
This is my thing.
Somehow it starts getting quite uncomfortable that the rest of the world, there is something comforting in knowing that the rest of the world just works.
I think it's because there aren't options now. It's like normally if you're an introvert, you have the option of going out and being part of the world. But when that's not an option anymore, then it's just like, well, what am I staying in here for then? There's no point.
Yeah.
I'm not different.
I mean, in England, we're staying, and so we don't get battered over the head with a baton by the police.
No!
That is like Punch and Judy, isn't it? It's just like,
Oh my
that's what's happening.
God.
It's real life Punch and Judy.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Apparently in Spain they had. Well, no, we're not talking about it. Sorry, Space Apes.
Space Apes.
That can be like our safe word.
Yeah. That's what Sharona said earlier. I'm like, yeah, that's it. From here on out. Space Apes.
Space Apes.
I will just touch on, and then we go back to Space Apes, is to what Ben said, I do have to carry a permit for work. So, Space Apes, do they think we come multi-dimensional, like from anywhere in space, or just like Mars? Are they nearby because they're close to us? Like,
I think they come from within the Earth. They're not actually Space Apes.
Oh, they're not actually
Hollow
in
Earth
space.
theory.
They're like multiple.
Oh no.
That's a David Icke theory, if ever I've heard one.
Well, we are
Space
related.
apes
So.
coming out of.
What would you do if I was related to David Icke? It'd be like instant block.
Get out.
You're gone.
Yeah.
Until you bring back David's head on a pole, you're out.
Morelli said that Space Apes would be a good band name. It would.
It would.
It would be a very good band name.
And they would all dress as reindeer.
Yeah. And
Or elves
people
on
would go,
shelves.
wait, I thought they were space apes. Yes, they are. And let them figure it out. God.
So yeah,
Oh.
I don't know what the hell we are talking about anyway.
I don't know, but we do need to figure. So if you guys are on Discord, go ahead and go into the event planning channel and put your 2 cents in if you can think of a movie that maybe we, want to do. A
Yeah,
movie.
film suggestions.
Yeah, do some suggestions if you want to do that, and we'll figure out a day and a time that works for most people. That you don't have to like stay up, until the middle of the night to do.
I mean, I'm kind of like my money's on the fly at the moment. Like I'm leaning into that one, but if people are welcome to suggest anything, because
it's not like we don't have the options to do another movie night.
Well, that's true, and plus also we've I can be swayed quite easily and also cheaply. So yeah.
All we got to do is send you an elf costume.
Yeah. Make me a ready-made elf costume with gold.
Good.
Or some white felt or something. Because I think
Just
that's
white
all
felt.
I need. I think that's all I might need to make the costume. I reckon I've got everything else.
Don't.
I've been like calculating this in my
Okay,
head the whole time
so-
we've been sitting here. Like I've been right. What do I need?
I say this with love, Ben, but please, like, I'm gonna be so brokenhearted if you don't do this.
Oh no,
Or
I'll
like,
do it. Don't
or like
worry.
sometimes you would put the show notes and then you wouldn't put the show notes, or you put the link in the website, or you don't put the link in the website, or you say you're gonna put maps, but then you don't put maps. Like, my panda heart will shatter into a million pieces if I don't see you in Elf on a
No,
Shelf.
see, the problem
don't.
is, is like that's the shit I should be doing, like dark history stuff. But what I'm actually doing is dressing up like an elf at home. Like, I'll do it for sure. Like,
Okay, perfect.
100%.
Oh,
Believe it when I
didn't
see
know-
it.
Basically, if I could be my Animal Crossing character in real life, I'd be absolutely chuffed to bits.
Your milkmaid out.
Yeah, my milkmaid hat. I mean, I'm wearing a dress all day because my dress looked better than my
I
my
really
shorts.
like that little purpley skirt you were wearing.
Yeah, isn't it cool? It looks way better than the shorts. It's like cool sarong. I like it.
Morelli said old fly or new fly.
Old fly.
I didn't
Oh, the
know
old
there
one.
were.
It's Jeff Goldblum for sure.
I didn't know there were 2.
I didn't know.
I didn't even know there was a
one.
new fly either.
Has there been a remake or?
That's how often I watch movies.
Oh, I tell you what else
yeah,
we
no.
could chuck in there as well. The Thing. I haven't seen that for a while.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
the old
literally
one.
just thinking about the thing actually.
The old
It's
one.
good, isn't
No,
it? Yeah.
So
yeah.
good.
the old one. Yes.
Do you not like it, Amanda?
The part with
love
the dog. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
Other
yeah.
than that, the
no.
movie's great, but that part,
You just
I always.
go past it.
Excuse me, I'm hearing an animal cry. I can't get past it. If it was a child, I'd be like, all right, come on, just die already. No, I'll watch it, but I'll just like, I'll text cringe that part. You'll get a cry emoji in that part of the movie.
Yeah, I know. I will.
Aw. I
It's a
kind of
good
don't want to
film,
put
though.
you through that now.
Hey, be nice, Sharona. I don't see you on here, ma'am.
Blame Panda when the Dark Histories episode is late. Yeah, sorry, Dark Histories is late. I was dressing up like an elf. But it's for a good cause because I earned £4 out of it. Hey, the way I see it, it's £4 better than I was before.
4 quid or 0?
Exactly.
Yeah. But the thing is like I said, however many likes you get, so it's your responsibility to circulate that.
Oh
It's
wait,
there-
Sarah says Vincent
I
Price
know.
or Jeff Goldblum. Wait, is the Fly like? Is
That's
there
why
a
I'm like,
Vincent
oh,
Price
that
version of the
old?
Fly?
Wait,
Because
Jeff
I didn't know
Goldblum?
that. But
I
now
know
you're
Jeff
saying it, I think I might even own that because I've
Well,
got the Fly box set and it's got like 4 films in it. But to be honest, I've only ever watched the
Jeff
Fly one.
Goldblum.
Because I just bought it because it was cheap.
Oh my God. So yeah, there's a 1958 and a 1986. So apparently we're all talking about the Jeff Goldblum one, thinking
the
that's
second
the
one.
old one. Thinking that's the
Yeah.
old one, and it's really the new one.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
sure I own it actually. Now I'm saying this, it came in my Fly box set, I think, but I've never watched it.
David Hedison, Patricia Owens, Vincent Price. Yeah, that's the original Fly.
Isn't Vincent
1958.
Price the guy in the guy who does the talking
So
in Thriller?
many. Vincent Price was in so many
He might
things.
be actually. He's like, yeah, he's like the
So
king
many.
of horror, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's got
Oh,
that
well,
like
Sarah,
classic
the
kind
king
of
of horror.
narrator voice or narrator,
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one in like House on Haunted Hill and all stuff like that as well,
Yeah.
right? And stuff like
So many things.
yeah.
So
See,
yeah,
that's another one we could chuck in there. House on Haunted Hill. I like that.
we're all talking about the new Fly like it's the old Fly.
The old black and white House on Haunted Hill is a great film.
It is. Yeah.
And I think it might even be on YouTube as well.
I found Spirited Away, the full movie, on YouTube. I was excited about
Really?
that. Yeah.
Bloody hell. Ghibli are like really strict with that kind of stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's all on Netflix now.
Is it?
Well, mostly, yeah.
Oh, House of Wax.
Is it the dubs or is it?
It's both, I think.
Oh, wow.
I don't think they have all of them, but they have most of them up.
Do you know, I got the sheet music for, or like the piano solo sheet music for every single Studio Ghibli song in existence. The
Like
other
Joe
day.
Hisashi stuff.
Yeah, and I got the entire
Love him.
book. It's like that fat, and it's just every single Ghibli song as a piano solo. It's amazing.
You know, he's playing, or is supposed to be playing in. I think he's supposed to be playing in London this summer.
Really?
Yeah, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
was so considering going to get tickets, but they're like over 200 quid.
Oh,
I was
wow,
like,
yeah.
maybe not.
Vincent Price was in Witchfinder General.
Oh,
Ah.
What? Really? That's
Come from-
crazy.
So,
can we watch Planet of the Apes?
do you know, I've never seen the original.
Oh,
Right.
the original's the best one. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've never seen it. I mean, I've seen the end
I'll
because
be
everyone's seen the
damned.
end, right? But
Yeah.
I've never seen the whole film.
1968, The Witchfinder General.
That's mental.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna have to love yous and leave yous because it's like 10 to 3, and my brain is slowly falling out of my ears. So
Yeah, cool. I think probably we should wrap stuff up anyway, because it's 10 to 3. And I've
you
got
guys,
shit to do.
you've got costumes to make. Because the UK just changed. They just changed time, right? Like today.
yeah, we did actually
yeah.
go back an hour, don't we?
Yeah.
That's
No,
why it's
you go-
quarter. It's done though.
No,
'cause
you go
that's-
forward. You go forward an hour. You spring
Yeah.
forward,
and you fall back.
But we
I'm
haven't
glad
been
you know
online
that
that
because I
long.
wouldn't.
It
That's
should
okay.
be.
It's okay. Ben didn't know it
1:53.
either.
Yeah. Just stop fucking with the clocks, man. That's what I think. Like, you know.
I know.
Why
I
don't you do
know.
that? Just you, Ben.
What? Just stop fucking with the clocks. Just have
Just
my
go
own
on
time.
Ben time. Just
Yeah.
go.
I
on
feel like he
your-
does go on bedtime. He doesn't even
Oh,
pay
yeah.
attention to clocks.
You're late. No, I'm not.
You're all just
You have to get everybody to change their watches when they come into your house or something.
Yeah.
Just take it off and throw it in a basket. Like
Yeah.
when people do that with their phones.
Like, yeah, I was going to say that, like kids at school putting their phones. Anyway, we've not talked about bloody anything, but we've had a lot of fun, so it's been great.
We have.
If
we
you want
talk
to come
about a
on,
lot.
yeah, if you want to come on
Wait.
Discord, everyone should do that and sort out a fucking film. Chuck your 2 cents in for a film.
Yeah. I made a
and-
list.
Yeah, we'll sort out film night. But otherwise, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for
Yeah.
joining in.
It was fun.
Thanks everyone for writing in the chat and just being here and just being sociable with me, because otherwise I might have murdered something by the end of the week.
You
So
know?
yeah, no, it's been good.
And we don't want him to do that because the only thing in there with him is the cat. So
Poor Poor
Oh,
cat.
I can't murder the cat though. Oh my
And-
Christ! Look
no.
at this! Look at this thing.
She'll kill you before you could kill her.
Oh, what's her name?
Monkey.
Yeah,
Oh,
little
Space
monkey.
ape.
She's actually called Little Monkey.
oh.
Yeah, but yeah. So thanks very much, everybody. What else do I need to say? Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
There'll be, social media and that. There'll be an
Yeah,
episode
just-
next week. Look forward to that one.
Wait.
Well, if you're on Patreon, the bonus episode just dropped. So.
Oh yeah, I did a bonus episode today, didn't I? That was good.
Oy vey.
And
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah.
So
So
anyway,
go wash your damn hands.
yeah. See you later. Thanks, everyone.